So the Dillenger kits just arrived, and I'm taking them to Myron's Extreme Machines Electric Bicycle Center, where I've got a kind of a test bike I've been using. And I was just going to do a quick unboxing of this thing and show you what's inside. So, looks like 26.5 pounds for, that's everything with the box and stuff. Nice packaging. Got some good, looks like styrofoam, kind of like plastic foam in here. Cool. Okay, that's the King meter, kind of an LCD display. They've got some wire wraps, very nice. Twist throttle with a half grip. Cool. Oh, okay. These are like the whooshing brake levers with motor inhibitors, so it'll go ahead and stop the motor if you're in pedal assist, which is kind of a nice safety feature. Looks like, interesting. And there we go. There's the front wheel. Oh, here we go. Nice. Okay, it's another one of those Cadence sensors. Looks like 12 magnet, and it splits in the middle. It's got kind of that metallic ring. I was looking at the Rubby electric bike the other day, and we installed that on this bike. You can still see the kind of the plugs and everything, and it uses the same thing. So kind of already got that installed. Although we might have to replace the sensor because this was kind of a proprietary plug versus the one on this. So let's see what else we got. Looks like there's the battery. Really nice. Clean design, mid-mounted. So it's going to keep the weight like right there on the down tube instead of hanging off on the back of the bike. It's really sweet. What does it say here? 36 volt, 10 amp hour. Okay, pretty standard. And let's see here. I bet this is the charger. Yep. A nice little charger. So as you'll notice here, there are no tires on the rim. We're going to go ahead and swap off these nice swabby fat franks. We also had to mount the battery track. This was like connected to the battery. We had to unlock it from the battery, slide it off, and then we had to have these water bottle, screws. And there's nice. It's just a lot of open space here to mount this. Justin was saying that he's done this before on some other bikes, and that they don't. Sometimes they have like just a couple holes to work with. So it's really cool that this one was pretty easy to mount. It's nice and flush with the down tube here, and then we mounted the King meter up top along with the kind of the control pad here on the left, and they've got that nice wire that goes between them so you can really get that close to your grip. And speaking of grips, we're on to that. He's going to actually use air to blow off the grips. You want to show me how that's done? There we go. Much easier than just trying to like pull it with your hand. I did notice that this King meter here, you see it like on these riser bars here, it was difficult to find a place where this would fit, and it's sort of colliding a little bit over here. I guess we could have put it up here and maybe it would have kind of blocked the gear selector or something like that, or right here would have been ideal, but because that stem is mounting right there, just basically kind of had to fiddle with it a little bit, but works out all right. You can imagine riding and looking down at the cockpit here. It's all pretty accessible front and center. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and keep working on the grips. The battery is charging, that's important. The reason we've got to replace the grips is because we've got a twist throttle here to work with, so keep that in mind. You're gonna be going to these like black generic grips. You might be able to get nicer grips and then just like cut one of them, make it a little bit shorter to work with the twist throttle, but that's a little bit of a trade-off. And then we'll also be hooking up the brake lever with motor inhibitor and then getting our controller all set up. So we're making good progress. Okay, so we're putting on some grips now, and Justin was actually telling me to be careful. Some people put like WD-40, and you don't want to do that. The grips will spin. You can like fall off the bike. Other people will use like a little bit of soapy water or something just to lubricate it, but I think air is probably the best. So you're going to show how to put this on with air?
Yep.
Nice. Okay, so check this out. They even have this little mounting bracket. It resembles what some bikes use for like reflectors. We're kind of looking at this motive over here. See how there's like an arm and then there's these two holes for where you can mount the reflector? Well, this kit includes an arm as well, but it's for mounting this little kind of like wire management system, and you'll notice that these are all color coded, right? And so each one goes to a different part of the bike. The brakes are red and they connect to the red, and then here's the green one, and it looks like that's going to be the display, and then here's the yellow one. It looks like that's the twist throttle. So just really nice. I mean, this is going to look almost like coming from a factory once it's all set up. So I don't know, it's neat to see how far kits have come. Just really polished. So we're getting ready to mount this front wheel, and you can see there's a little notch sort of in this washer, and it kind of acts as a little bit of a torque arm. It sort of basically keeps the axle from spinning and then, you know, twisting and breaking off this cable. But I noticed that on the underside of this axle, it's sort of cut away, and it seems like this would bend down. And I thought, oh, is this mounted upside down, you know, because the cable's going to come out and then we're going to have to string it all the way up along the side of the bike. And Justin was saying, no, you know, that's pretty common on these motors. There are several other front-mounted hub motors that they have here that we were looking at, and you can see it's the same thing. Like the cable comes down and up, and it's weird to me that it doesn't go up the side of the frame. But I wanted to call that out in case you're wondering if your kit, you know, if it really comes down. That's basically what we discovered. And also wanted to give you a heads up. It's really cool. They give you like a little extra extension cable here for basically wiring up the motor. Okay, so if you have like a longer bike, or I don't know, maybe like a tandem or a recumbent or something, you were trying to mount this, it's cool that they give you a little bit of extra cable kind of as an extender. So, and do keep in mind, I think they recommend steel forks. You know, we've got a suspension fork here. I don't weigh too much, but you know, this is a 350 watt geared motor. It is going to put some strain on the front, and I guess I wouldn't recommend going too much more powerful than this, because that could kind of create some play in your suspension, and you know, it's maybe not as sturdy as like fixed steel fork. It's not going to have that up and down. And I've noticed, like, if you're really accelerating, it's sort of, you know, pushing on the fork, and then the suspension doesn't really go up and down as much because there's friction. There's kind of like pressure being applied, so the suspension doesn't work so well when you're using a front-mounted hub motor like this. So keep that in mind. You know, Dillenger does also have rear-mounted kit, and that's going to be a little bit sturdier. You know, you've seen the parts. We've kind of walked through the installation process, and now it's all set up. It's turned on, and I just wanted to comment on the company a little bit. They include this great user manual, and it's pretty comprehensive. You know, it shows all about like the pedelec discs and mounting, and it covers all their kits. So you'll notice like bottle adapter here, or like a rear rack mount, as well as that down tube that we're using. And a nice little guide for the King meter. Teaches you how to switch from kilometers per hour, miles per hour, and set the clock, things like that. Mostly holding the mode button and then cycling through. And then this is the charger. You know, it's really quiet. It's about 1.5 pounds. I did weigh the battery, and it's like 6.3 pounds. So we're dealing with something that's pretty lightweight. This bike in total here is about 49 pounds. It's the giant Revel. I've been using it for a few different installations recently. And the battery pack does not have to have the keys in it to be operable, which is kind of nice. We've got this little power button right here to activate or deactivate the battery. And there's the little key slot. So to get it off, you do have to twist like that, and then you pull up on that little buckle there, and it sort of slides up the frame. It's easy to take off. But I did want to call out, go ahead and reactivate it. Did want to call out that in addition to just being a source of power for the motor on your bike, it's also got this little USB port, right? So you could use this as like emergency power to charge your phone or whatever. And I think that's kind of cool. I'm starting to see that on more kits. And I like that they've included that. It's not, you know, up by the control panel, which would be kind of nice. Some of the other kits have a little port on the bottom of the display panel, but it's great that it has it at all. Of course, it does also have like the LED power level indicator. We're at full charge right now. You do have to turn on the battery in order for that to work. If the battery's not on, the power level indicator won't work, but the battery doesn't have to be mounted to the frame, so that's kind of nice. Here's all the wires. We've kind of bundled them up as best as possible. There's the pedal X sensor, the disc, the wires running up the frame, a nice little mount piece, the wire wrap. So it's all set up. It looks nice. It blends in pretty well, and at about $1,000, you know, it's pretty solid. This is kind of like standard 350 watt, 36 volt, 10 amp hour. It's good stuff. And you know, I've seen Dillenger a few times online. They had a Kickstarter campaign a while back. It was for like a, you know, $400 or $500 folding electric bike. Seemed all right, and they've been around since 2007, maybe really starting around 2008 with electric bikes. They'd made like a stainless steel bicycle frame, and they decided to electrify it, and had produced just a bunch of different, you know, I think importing, you know, from China, establishing the relationships, and then sort of redistributing and managing that flow of electric bike conversion kits, and primarily in Australia. It's 2015 now, and their website says they've shipped like 10,000 units, so they've done a good job. They've got a good warranty. It's a year comprehensive, and they're, you know, coming to the United States now. So given the polish on all of this, I mean, it's standard parts that I've kind of seen in other places, but it fits together really nicely between like the battery mounting rack and having a pedal assist in addition to twist throttle. You know, a lot of kits, they're just throttle only, and pedal assist is going to help you extend your range. Having a 12 magnet sensor is really good. So far I've been impressed. You know, it's a good thing, and it feels like the company is committed to doing a good job. They're going to be sticking around, and the prices are good. They have lots of options. So this one's completely street legal in the United States, 20 mile per hour top speed. Go ahead and hold the mode button here, and the display comes to life. We're in assist level 1. I'm going to go ahead and jack it up to assist level 5. So it's cadence sensing, so I'm going to have to pedal for a moment to activate, but let's see how that does. Ooh. It looks like we put the motor on backwards. So I'm going to go ahead and try to remount that. So, you know, we ran the cable down the left side, and we've got the cap on the left side. So I think we need to obviously have that on the right side for this to function properly. It's a good learning opportunity here for other people. I'll see you in a minute. So there are 5 assist levels, and it's really noticeable, you know, between the 5. One is pretty smooth and kind of quiet. I'm going to go ahead and do that one real quick here. You know, and doesn't get you going too fast. We're at 17 kilometers per hour, so there's kind of a speed component. Then as soon as you come up to 2, you really notice it. Now we're at 5. Oh yeah. But if I hold the brake lever while pedaling, it doesn't activate. So that's a good example of those, you know, motor inhibitors that are built right into those levers, which I really like, especially on a Cadence Sensing system like this. It's fairly responsive. There's obviously a bit of a delay, but you've got that 12 magnet sensor. It's working pretty well for just a kind of an aftermarket little add-on. And here we go. If you hold down on the little button pad over there, this is walk mode. So we're just going real slow, and there's a little picture of a guy, you know, kind of walking the bike, and that's kind of a cool little extra. It still goes if you let off, so. Okay, sweet. Now I think it might be time to test that throttle out. Okay, and by the way, there's no 0 level on this, so there's no throttle only mode. Anytime the bike is on and you pedal, you're going to get a little bit of power. unless you're holding the brake lever. So it's kind of something worth keeping in mind. And then we're in level 1, twisting the throttle, and it's, we're getting power. Kind of a smooth, steady start there. There we go. And I'm in level 1. I'm gonna see how it performs in level 5, if that gives us more power or not. Okay, here we go. Oh, feels about the same. So it seems like you get complete throttle power on any level of assist. Woo! Not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and cruise around a little bit more. It's a fairly balanced setup, with the weight in the front and the battery on the down tube. It looks pretty good, even with the wires and stuff, because we're dealing with the black bike here, so it all kind of blends in. For under $1,000, with all the little extras and attention to detail that they've put in, I feel like this Dillenger kit is pretty solid. In 350 watt geared, it's going to be a little lighter, a little quieter than one of their gearless options, and just a cool way to convert your bike. So yeah, there we go. There's the throttle and everything. Nice dashboard. For the full write-up on this, along with other electric bikes, I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com.